Hello, beauties, and welcome back to Let's Reevaluate. Today, the topic is having meaningful relationships in your 20s. And I have found that the older I get, the more I am really focused on finding friendships that really benefit me almost. I think I have become a little bit more selfish when it comes to friendships, and I think that's okay. Um, you only live once, and you might as well surround yourself with people that you are very happy to be around. What's the point of um, spending on people who you don't feel that y'all are in the same place in this life? And it is okay to have friends that are in different seasons. I think that's okay. If your friends start having kids and you don't have kids yet, then I mean, both parties are going to understand, like, okay, well, I want to go out on the weekends and I want to just rot in my bed on Saturday or whatever you want to do. And if you have kids, you can't do that. You've got to get up and you have to care for the children and you have to act like a mom and act like a wife and do all those things. And it makes sense that those friendships kind of back away a little bit, but that's okay to have people that you're not constantly in contact with. And I know that that kind of sounds kind of crazy. I think men specifically don't really understand that because I think girls, like, we are really used to having friendships where we are like really having one for a little while and then we kind of go into another friendship, or there's a little bit of time where we're not around anybody or just whatever. I'm sure if you're in the same boat as me, like, you can kind of pinpoint those times in your life. And specifically, my boyfriend cannot understand how me and my best friends don't talk every single day. And I'm like, well, we both just have our lives going on and we get it. Like, we come back together in a week or two and nothing's changed. We're still best friends and we still understand that we have our own lives going on. And that's something that the older I've gotten, the more I value those friendships with those people who not only care about my life, which is great. It's amazing to have people who genuinely care about how you're doing or what you're doing or who you're seeing or how your boyfriend or your mom or your parents or whoever, how, like, for them to care about those things. That's amazing. But it's also really nice to have those friends that can also understand that you are going through your own life too. And you don't have to check up on them all the time. And vice versa. Like, I don't have to check up on you all the time, and you don't have to check up on me all the time because guess what? We are adults and we should understand that we have our own lives. And it's not my job to constantly check in on you and wonder if you think that we're in an okay place. Like, I don't have any beef. I just genuinely have to go to work every day and I have to make sure I fill up my car and make sure I'm, going to the appointments I have to do and everything, working out, running, doing the things that I genuinely have to do for my own well-being. I don't have to add check up on friend 1, check up on friend 2, check up on friend 3. Like, that's not the kind of friendships that I personally want to be in, just because I cannot function that way. I'm very go with the flow. Like, I care about my friends 100%, and I'm going like, and I feel like what I'm saying sounds bad. Um, like, oh, wow, that girl never checks up on her friends and never cares. That's not the truth at all. There are times where I'm like, oh, crap, I haven't checked up on them. Like, let me text them. But most of the time, it's like I see their social media or something, and I see that they're doing something fun or they're out with someone or just whatever it may be. And that's when I kind of wiggle my way in there and be like, "Oh my God, hey, how are you doing? Like, what's up?" Like, I think that's okay. Even if it's been, like, let's say 2, 3 months since I talked to him last, that doesn't mean I'm not their friend anymore. It just means that we both have lives. Like, and I think in our 20s, we are like, we're really set on this about people not checking in on us and not making plans with us and stuff. And I also need to backtrack and say, like, what about those people? Are they making plans with you? Are they constantly checking in? Now, I can't understand if it's the circumstance where they're constantly checking in and you're never checking in on them. Like, for sure, that makes sense. But if you're both not doing it, then how are you going to blame either party? You know what I mean? So like I said, I know that kind of feels like it might sound bad. But I'm not intentionally doing that, is what I'm trying to get at. And I can recognize that other people are not intentionally doing that because we, like I said a million times, we have lives we have to function through. And being in your 20s is hard. Hard. Mel Robbins said, she is the creator of the let them theory. She said that the 20s are the worst time of your life. And I think I believe her a little bit because you go from so much structure in your adolescence where you're going to school at the same time every day, you're getting picked up at the same time, you have the same like drama class or soccer or whatever sport you do or whatever you're doing after school. And then you do it over and over and over again. And you have a schedule and you have your parents taking care of you. They're right there. You go to college. It's the same concept. You have a little bit more freedom, but like you're in a structured system. Everything is like going good. You're doing the same thing, so on and so forth. And then the 20s come and it's like, get a job, go every single day, go grocery shopping, get gas in your car, pay your bills, so much other stuff. I can't even think about it right now because it stresses me out. But all of these things that you just get, they just get thrust upon you. And you're like, oh my gosh, I wasn't doing this 5 years ago. I wasn't doing this for the last 18 years of my life, 19, 20 years of my life. And now I have all of these responsibilities. And you expect me to not only figure out how to keep myself alive and keep myself financially responsible and just whatever I have to do, prepare for the future while I'm literally just starting to live my life. But you're telling me that I also have to constantly check in on friends and constantly like make plans and do all these things. Like, I'm sorry, I can't do that. I seriously cannot function that way. Now, if you're in my calendar, sure. If I wrote it in my calendar every third Saturday, check in on all friends, and then wrote every single one of their names down and did just a cumulative text to everybody, then sure, maybe I could do it. But I think my point to this entire conversation, rant, if you will, is that I don't expect that from other people. So, therefore, they shouldn't expect it from me. Point blank, period. I don't think we should expect that from anybody in our lives. I think if there's someone that you truly, truly want to have a serious, beautiful friendship with, then I think you need to both be on the same page on how your friendship style is, almost kind of going back to like a love language. Like, what is your love style? What is your love language? What's your friendship style? Mine is go with the flow. I'm always really chill. I'm always going to care about what's going on in your life, but I may forget to talk to you for 2 or 3 months. That is what it is. And that's why me and my closest friends work out really, really well, because we all have that same exact friendship style. So, all that to say, either if you do not resonate with what I'm saying when it comes to my friendship style, then either maybe you need to reevaluate kind of how you feel about friendships, and maybe all these people don't actually hate you, because I can see it being like if that is your friendship style and you're like, if they're not checking in on me all the time, like maybe they hate me, maybe you should just reevaluate and figure out that they probably don't. They probably just have a different friendship style than you. And if you truly want to be their friend, then, or a close friend to them, reach out to them, see what they say. I'm sure they'll tell you, like, oh, I'm sorry, I've just been busy. Okay, that's a valid excuse. Okay, that is a valid excuse. If you haven't been busy and you haven't reached out to this person and they have been busy and they haven't reached out to you, then who's to blame? It would be you. You know what I'm saying? So maybe reach out to them. And maybe if you don't like that and you're never going to like that and you're never going to be able to deal with it and you don't value that friendship as much as you think you did, just because their friendship style is not the same as yours, then go find different friends. I'm sure there's someone out there that has the same friendship style as you. Actually, I know there is. So I would advise maybe doing things like that. And then kind of going back to finding different friends, or if they don't have the same style as you or whatever they may have. I think the older I've gotten, the less I will deal with. I say that saying that I'm like 60 years old, but I am only 27. But I want to find friends that are meaningful, friendships that are meaningful. I want to have friends that I can talk to everything about. I'm tired of having friends that's like, oh, I have this friend for this occasion. I have this friend for this occasion. I have this friend for this occasion. I would rather just have a bunch of friends that can have every single piece of me, and we can vibe no matter what we're doing. If we're going to a coffee shop, we're okay. If we're going on a run, we're okay. If we're going to the bar, we're okay. Like, that's the kind of friendships I need in my life, because I genuinely cannot function with having like, oh, well, I can't invite her here because she doesn't like this or she doesn't like this or whatever. Like, I can't do that. I don't have the mental capacity to do that anymore. I think in college, you definitely, college/younger years, you definitely let a few things slide just because it's like, oh, well, they're my sorority sister, or they're this, or they're that, or they're my roommate, or they're on my sports team, or whatever it may be. You kind of let things slide, and you're friends with people that maybe you wouldn't be if you, I don't want to say had a choice, but you kind of get what I'm saying. So I just feel that it's better for me to have intentional friendships, and that means people that just can truly be with me in every state that I'm in. Friendships, really close, important friendships are important, and they're basically like they're a relationship. They're a part of your life that's like I said, really important. So you might as well like spend some time finding the correct ones. You know what I mean? So, and then when it comes down to like values and political views and things like that, I do think it's important for you to line up on those things with your friends, but I don't know if I don't think that it has to be 100% aligned. And what I mean by that is, friends, you're not spending every second of every day with your friends most of the time. That stuff is designated for your partner. I said it in my Love is Blind episode, and I'm going to say it again. I think there's 3 things that you need to line up with your partner that I think are non-negotiables. 1 is if you want children or not. 2 is religion. And 3 is political views. I will not change that. I think that is extremely important to have the same views when it comes to a relationship that you're planning on being in long term, because you have to think like, okay, well, let's go back to the children. If you are bringing children into this world, you don't want to confuse them with oh, well, mom thinks this, dad thinks this, like with religion or political views or whatever that may be. That's going to be confusing for the children. And you know what? I am actually going to backtrack a little bit because I do know some people that do have different religions. They're normally not like north and south kind of religions. They're normally like they kind of line up in some ways. So I can see some instances. This is a me thing. Again, I don't know how many times I'm going to say this in my episodes, but this is my podcast, so I'm going to talk about whatever I want. And for me, those are the three things I don't want to compromise with. I want it to be, are we going to have kids or not? Do we align on that? And in my case, yes, I do want to have children. So my person needs to want to have children. My person needs to be a Christian, and my person needs to have Southern conservative values because that's what I do. And nobody come at me. I'm sorry. I was born and raised in Tennessee. What are you going to do? I can't help it. Okay. So anyways, those are my views on a relationship. When it comes to friendships, I do think it is important to line up on things, but I don't think it's as black and white when it comes down to like those three things have to be exactly the same. I do have friends that we do have different political views, and I don't care and they don't care, and that's why it works. Now, if you have one person on one side that cares so deeply, if the other people don't believe the same thing they do, then obviously those friendships aren't going to work. So I don't have any friends that extremely disagree with what I say and tell me about it. So I may have really close friends that have different political views than me, but guess what? We love each other enough. We've been friends long enough, and we value each other as people that we just don't bring it up to the other person because it's not that big a deal between us. I don't know if that makes sense to anybody else, but it makes sense to me. I'm okay with other people having different views than me. That's literally what the human race is supposed to do. We are all supposed to have different opinions. Like if we didn't, we would all be boring. It would be a boring world if we all thought the exact same thing. So I'm happy that other people think differently than I do. And maybe open my eyes in certain aspects. But all that to say, I have friends that have different political views, and that's okay. Okay. What was the other thing? Okay, so religion. I have some friends that are not as religious as I may be, and then I do have friends that we line up exactly on those things. So it's the same thing, kind of going back to the politicals. If you're not trying to tell me why yours is better than mine, or why I should do this or why I should do that, then our friendship's going to be fine. And the friendships that I have are long enough and strong enough that if we were to disagree on those specific things, we would just have the respect for the other person, just not to talk about it with each other. There are designated people that I will talk to about those things. And that really is my partner, like I said, because I'm going to know for a fact that my partner is going to line up on those kind of values. I do think there is a lot of opportunity out there to find people that are exactly like you, but I think that's boring. I think it's fun to have friends that have different personalities than you and have different values a little bit. Nothing too crazy, but have a little bit different values and have a little bit of different look at life and a little bit of different stance. Like maybe someone's a little bit more spiritual and a little bit more into like, I don't know, like crystals and stuff like that. Or maybe someone's like really into reading and going outside and grounding and stuff like that. Like that's exciting to have friends that have different views than you. I think it is. It's nice to be around people that just open your eyes to a little bit of everything. I think that's beautiful. And I love when I meet people that they're just a little bit different than me. And because I think that's what friendships are for, to bring a little bit of everything into someone, if that makes sense. Kind of one person can have 5 different friends that bring 5 different eye-opening experiences or eye-opening values, or just change your mind about something just a little bit. I think that's fun. And I know that this all kind of came out with my friendship style and not being a super involved friend. And that's kind of harsh because I'm just not a super involved friend when I am really, really busy with trying to get my life together. Like I said, this last year and a half, 2 years has been a whirlwind. So I'm trying to balance myself out with that. And I finally am feeling like I am. So it is able to open my eyes a little bit more about being a little bit more intentional with my time and intentional with people that I truly value and making them feel like I truly value them. I think that's important. I have been blessed with some really amazing friends, especially coming into Nashville. Like I said, it's really eye-opening meeting some people that have different views than I do and have a little bit of a different personality than I do. It's really exciting to experience. And I love when I just get like a bunch of different girls together and we all just think a little bit differently. I think that's so fun. We all have like a little bit of different of a style, a different view on life. Like, it's just so exciting. I think that's really beautiful. And I think it's a great way to be a little bit kinder to everyone, to not be so judgmental and not be so kind of harsh when it comes to people who you don't really know much about, or people that you're, what's the word? People that you're kind of skeptical about because of their values and the way they think. I think if you were to find a really cool girl who has values different than you, and you can be like, wow, that amazing girl can think that, like, maybe I should soften up a little bit. I think it kind of goes back to the episode a few weeks back when I'm talking about we just need to be kinder to people. We need to open up our eyes to humanity and just be a little softer, be a little kinder, and understand that we're all human beings and we can make mistakes and we can go through the motions and we can get caught up in life, and that's okay. It is okay, and you should never make anybody feel bad for just getting caught up in life, because we all do it. And honestly, the person that is getting caught up in life and is forgetting to check up on you and is forgetting to go out and is forgetting to do anything for themselves or even go out and do anything with anybody else, that person needs to be kind of checked out a little bit. They're the one that probably has a lot going on that you're not understanding, and you getting upset for a person not reaching out to you is okay, but it kind of comes back to something internally that maybe you need to work on within yourself. I know for me, I used to have a really hard time understanding how someone could pretend to be my friend. I say this in quotes. How someone could pretend to be my friend. That's what I thought. When they go out and do their own thing, or they go out and don't invite me, or they forget to talk to me until I post on my story or something. And now that I look back at it, it's like, why was I upset with that person for forgetting, probably not even forgetting about me, but for not reaching out or not interacting with me when I didn't interact with them either. Life is a two-way street when it comes to people. And if you truly care for someone, then you're going to make time for them and you're going to make efforts to make sure that they feel valued. I don't know. I just truly think that we, like, on one hand, we've gotten soft on thinking that everybody is intentionally doing something to us. And then on one hand, we're harsh. But then right there in the middle, people just truly are just trying to go through the motions. We are all just trying to get through this life. And I personally have spent the last year trying to go through this life in a happy, beautiful way and trying to really open up my eyes to different experiences and just be kinder to people and to not get so swept up in the everyday life. I don't think I know. I'm going to back up. There's no think about it. I know that this life is not meant to be lived walking on eggshells. I know this life is meant to be lived beautifully. It's meant to be lived with true value, and you may not be there yet, but I truly try to find the joy in every single day. I actually had a coworker, shout out to Marcy, who told me to find the joy. That was kind of her little catchphrase. And I think that really stuck with me, actually, now that I'm talking right here. It is important to find joy, not only in life, but every single day. Every single day that you wake up is a beautiful day. It's a blessing. And you will not change my mind about that. You're meant to be here for a reason. And it's not to go through the motions and get up every morning and make your coffee and be sad and sit in traffic and be sad, work, and then dread driving home and dread your workout and dread everything and then be like, oh God, gotta do it all over again tomorrow. That's not what life's about. I wake up every single day and that's not true. Let me backtrack. I'm not an angel. There are days that I wake up and it's like, oh my gosh, gotta do all this again. I get it. I do. I'm just a girl. But I do try my hardest to truly find excitement. I think that's a good word that I use. I really do like to try to find excitement in every single aspect of my life. That is kind of something that I fell off of a few years back. I used to be just so excited about everything. Like every little thing would just excite me and I would get loud, and I was that girl that people are like, "Why are you yelling?" Like I'm still that girl, not going to lie. But like I just the littlest things would excite me, and I loved that about me, and that did kind of fall off, and I am so excited to say that it has come back. And every single day I just find little excitements in something. Like, oh my gosh, my coffee is amazing today. Great. Celebrate it. Oh my goodness, it's Friday. I get to go work out at the gym. Yay. So exciting. Like that's something that I think I bring to friendships, and I really value that about myself, and I'm really proud of the person that I have become in this last year. And I do appreciate when I have friends who appreciate that about me. And I know I have friends that value that I value something about them. Does that make sense? I know that if one of my friends like cooks really good, like, and I say something about it, I know that that's going to make their day, and I know that it's probably one of these little things that they value about themselves, and they've just been waiting for someone to notice it, and that I do. I'm sure that that makes them extremely happy. Just anything like that. And I think that's truly what this life is meant for. I mean, if we can't find the joy, if we can't find the excitement in every single day, what are we doing? We're just dreading the next day. That sounds miserable. So yeah, I know this all kind of started from friendships and finding your friendship style and this, that, and the other, but it kind of turned into just really appreciating the life that you're living and appreciate the friends that you have, appreciate the relationships you have. Um, First of all, not everybody gets that. And just remember that you do, and remember that we can wake up every single day and we can find little excitements and we can find little joys, and that's okay. It's okay to be excited about the silliest little thing. And I'm sure if there's someone looking at you and they're judging you for your little excited dance about your coffee being good, they need to reevaluate their life. You don't. So I say that too, to kind of say, if you do have friends that you do feel like you're walking on eggshells with, or you feel like your little quirks annoy them, that goes with friendships or relationships. I would just advise that you kind of hit the pause button on that relationship or that friendship, because there's no one in this world that should make you feel bad about being yourself. No one should ever dull your shine. No one should ever make you feel silly about yourself, anything about yourself, about your excitement, about your sadness, about your feelings, about anything. No one should make you feel silly about that. So if you have someone close to you that is making you feel some type of way about something that you truly can't change, it's just something that makes you happy to act like or be like or feel, I would say those people don't deserve to be in your presence. They can go find somebody just as miserable as them. Um, so yeah, that's my soapbox for today. I'm not even sure what to call this episode because it was kind of just all over the place, but I really did have fun talking to y'all today. And I hope that y'all all find beautiful, happy, genuine relationships and friendships. And if you want, I'll be one of them for you. And I will talk to y'all on the next one. Bye.